Hello my friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blitz Survival Games. Today, we are here on Calum, and this is our first ever chillest episode of Blitz, with BSG's Chillest Slayer. Today, we're going to be playing on Calum, and we have a wide variety of topics here, while I stay completely 100% chill in this game. What kind of topics? Well, let me go through some of these topics. Bruh. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, especially when I'm so chill. Alright, today we're going to be talking about alternate clicking styles. We're going to talk about novelty philosophy, different texture packs, keyboards, things like this. We'll also talk about changing settings, changing in-game settings. And my thoughts on my next kit, as well as some meta updates and thoughts on other kits. Alright, in today's chillest ever episode, let's get started. First of all, what's going on in this game? This is a Calum match, and there are already 4 players left. I'm guessing there's at least one other level 10 player. I think I want to make my way mid, although I don't recognize. Maybe Ancient Legends is a Nick. We will see. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about is alternate clicking styles. When I say alternate, I mean anything that is not just clicking your mouse. This means, in practical terms, butterfly clicking, jitter clicking, and I know that some people do this thing called drag clicking, but you don't really use it in 1.8 PvP contexts like this. That's more of a specialty use case. I'm sorry, Non. Sorry to taunt on you too. Sorry to rub it in. So the question is it worth it to click like this? We need to think about what we're actually gaining. In the case of jitter clicking, you're going from 8 to 9 CPS to, let's say, 10 to 11 CPS in practical terms. Now, this is an average CPS increase of maybe 2. In the case of butterfly clicking, you're going from, let's say, that 8 to 9 to, as you can see there, 13, 14. Alright, here we are on the next game. Where was I? I was talking about clicking, right? Shroom Valley. I hope this doesn't go to deathmatch. I ain't never seen a Shroom Valley deathmatch that didn't stall. But, I'm in my chill zone today. It wouldn't matter to me one way or the other. So, alternate clicking. Like I say, you can get a little bit higher with butterfly clicking. Now, does the CPS increase make a difference? From 8 to 9 to 10 to 11, I would say it does make a big difference. There is a smaller difference than going up to that 13-14 range, but it's less of a difference. So yes, there is an improved hit registration and knockback that you get from clicking very fast. What we need to think about is what are the trade-offs. Give me that gap. I'm sorry, Non. No rod. I've had so many rodless games today. It's been real bad, guys. Multiple death matches where I've had... There we go. Thank you. No sticks, though. RIP. We need to think about the trade-off. In a couple of my previous Game Sense videos, I've talked about sticking to the basics, right? We want to nail the basics. Now, the basics in Minecraft PvP, it's going to be spacing, timing, aim. Those are the basics. I would rather you have those basics on lock and click 6 CPS than suck at those basics and click 20 CPS. You understand? So, the problem here is I see a lot of people who jitter or butterfly click, and it clearly impacts their ability to aim. This was the case for me when I tried to jitter, and it was the case for me when I used to butterfly. Now, I would still get some decent wins, but my aim was never really solid, and so despite not clicking as fast, my prime performance has always been regularly clicking. Now, the ceiling, I would say, is higher. Toxicologist. Bruh. Nah, actually, I respect that. Alright, Reggie doesn't want to commit to it. Now, the ceiling, I would say, is higher. So if you could get so good at these clicking styles that you can match your aim performance, which I don't know if you'll ever exactly match it, but if you could get very close, okay, perhaps the trade-off at some point there's an intersection of these two lines, and we say, all right, at this point, the benefits outweigh the negatives, and I think that's fair. But I want to put in my 2 cents here, which is that I think, ouch, I think almost never, not almost never, I think for most, I think 80% of players, even experienced players, I think for 80% of players, even experienced ones, it's probably better to click normally. And if you focus on clicking when you click normally, you can get 8 to 9 CPS and your registration will be okay. After that, I think butterfly is the next best option. I don't know that I can ever condone jitter clicking, but if you're good with it, if it works for you, I'm not going to tell you you're doing anything wrong. There are definitely jitter clickers out there who could body me in PvP. You know what I'm saying? This is advice for the general populace. Okay, there's my thought on that. I think it's kind of interesting thing to think about. Another bit of philosophy here in today's chill episode. I gotta decide here how I'm going to chill use the Blitz Star. There are 4 players left. I want to reduce player count. Ideally, I want 2 people to be next to each other, and then I want to kill them both, but sometimes that is a little more ambitious than what is actually realistic. But this might work out. I don't think this guy sees me. Excellent. And I learned my lesson earlier today. I'm going to gap on this guy. When you stasis somebody with a diamond helm and you don't have one, you better gap on them. That's all I'm saying. Stasis can be a little hit or miss. Don't ask me why I swapped those boots. Okay, this guy splashes warrior, but I should just trade here and win. GG. Next, I want to talk about my novelty philosophy. This relates specifically to texture packs and keyboards. I use a lot of different keyboards when I game, and I change texture packs maybe once every week or 2 weeks. I used to be very consistent with my texture pack use, only using my Cascades edits. Recently, I've been branching out a little bit more, and I think this is the correct move. I think it's also the correct move to change keyboards. And first I'm going to talk about just the novelty aspect of it, then I'll talk about why I think it's actually an advantage. So first, just the novelty bit of it. I think it's more fun, okay? And when you're having more fun, I think you're going to be more focused. You're going to feel better, you're going to have more confidence in the game. So I would recommend doing things that make the game more fun. For me, changing the switches in my keyboard makes the game more fun. Or maybe even switching keyboards, but really it's the switches. Anyway, then another thing that makes the game more fun for me is using a different texture pack. Sometimes using a different GUI size. Okay? Now, this isn't a response to anybody in particular. But here's my 2 cents on GUI size. I don't think there is any advantage to using a smaller GUI, except very marginal ones, okay? Marginally, maybe you can loot quicker. I think probably the bigger advantage would be visibility when you have your inventory or a chest open. That's probably the actual advantage. I don't think there's really, though again, I think this is also marginal. I think you should really just go by preference. What feels comfortable, what you think looks good. But I think things like changing GUI, I think that changing your texture pack, I think that changing keyboards, I think these are all good ways to enhance your focus, enjoy the game a little more, give it a new feel, give it a fresh coat of paint. But what about the mouse, you might ask? Should you change mice? Well, that's up to you. In my opinion, no. I need absolute consistency when it comes to the mouse. Tracking is of cardinal importance. Ooh, let's go. Let's star. Who do I star this game? I kind of want to star the Phoenix, because I think it'd be nice to have the Phoenix bow. I'm sorry, Zadjik, if you're watching this, but I will probably star you, my friend. For me personally, I know the answer is no, because from one mouse to another, unfortunately, the weight and the feel and the click, not the weight of the mouse, but the weight of the click, the resistance, it changes too much from one mouse to another. And I really need consistency with my mouse because it's so critical. It's so critical. So for me, the keyboard, on the other hand, the keyboard, I can get used to a new keyboard in 6 or 7 minutes. It's not a big deal as long as it's not something crazy. Okay, the mouse is very different though, because I'm actually picking it up, throwing it around, pressing buttons very fast. That's a different matter. Let's stasis this guy. I don't think I'll need any gaps. Yeah, he got me a little low, but nothing too scary. Very nice. Now, is there an objective advantage? This is the question. I think in a way there is. Actually, I don't know if you would call this an objective advantage, but I think there is a real advantage to this beyond just the psychological, which is sometimes when you make these changes, you make the game feel better in a tactile, intuitive way, okay? You want the game, you want your Minecraft persona. This is going to sound a little cringe, but you want it to feel like a very natural extension of yourself. All right, we got the deathmatch here. I'm going to skip a lot of that because these death matches are pretty boring. So here's the thing. You want to have a very intuitive feel for, let's say, I'm kind of getting outbowed by this guy. Let's say how far your reach is in game, or how quickly your movement is going to bring you into another player's field of view or their own reach. And so if you can enhance the feel of the game, you might say, well, oh, it's just the feel of the game. You're not actually improving your reach. But if you can improve your intuition for your reach, that is a big deal. GG. Here we got some docks. I've played a lot of docks today. Somehow, I think it's been 3 or 4 days of queuing since I've last played on any island map, Island V1 or 2. I don't know how that's been the case. So, as I was saying, what was I saying? Yes, you want to increase your intuitive perception of the game. It's, as Mishima discussed in Sun and Steel, there is a moment in competition during the critical strike or the heat of battle. Okay, now we're not really battling, we're playing Minecraft, but you know what I mean. Where you are deprived of words, you're deprived of an articulate rationality, and you're left with only what your body can do at its most base level of memory, you know, the memory that's in your muscles, okay, that's hardwired into your brain. It's intuition, okay? When you're in that last throw, the last 2.5 seconds of a heated death match, sometimes you don't even really know what's going on until you go back and rewatch the replay, because things get all jumbled up. But then you go back and rewatch the replay, and you think, oh, that wasn't so crazy to go back and watch. But sometimes in the moment, you're just operating on pure reflex. Okay? So if you can train your intuition, you improve that reflex. Oh no, I think Fire just got trapped. He's playing Phoenix, though. I almost feel sorry for him. Actually, I'm going to talk about Phoenix later in this video. I'm not actually that big of a Phoenix hater. I thought this guy saw me, but I don't think he saw me. I think he's only Pally 9, though. Oh, yo. Nah, we stay chill. Just me and you, Ghost. GG's, GG's. Good fight. My gear's pretty solid. I need to see if I can go get sharpness on that sword. P2 grind. Love to see it. When am I raiding Arachno? When I get the coins to buy it. I'll talk about kits here in a bit. Can I kill this guy? Ooh. He was trying to jump over that. He did not realize he was backed into a too high. Sorry to see him go like that. Need coins. The next thing I want to talk about is settings changes. And here I'll be explicit that I'm not responding to any of Madge's videos because I know he's been, you know, fiddling around with different settings. I think settings changes... I might be able to blow this guy up sooner than he expects with the iron sharp. Oh, that was unlucky. Very nice. Yo? Nah, we're chill. I need to get star. Hopkite could gremlin me here if he wanted to. Of course, fire wants me to swag. Ah, I doubt he'll gremlin. Come on, come on. But I do want to say, this ties into a point that I was kind of making in my last video about emulating people. I think that on a practical level, you should do what's comfortable unless there is a major objective disadvantage to a certain setup. So yeah, if your rod, sword hotkeys limit your ability to play the game. For instance, I use F and C. Oh, hey, get back in my inventory. So for instance, I use F and C, and that actually limits the way that I can move during combat, my ability to strafe. And there's always going to be some sort of trade-off here, okay? Because if I switch to my thumb, if I use BNMV, for instance, one of those keys, then I'm using my thumb, then I can't jump freely. Or if I switch to my mouse, I can't exactly aim freely. Okay? Each of these has its own little trade-off. You just have to pick your poison. Somebody did suggest one. I'm being a little sloppy here. Somebody did suggest one in the comments of Madge's video that I thought was creative. It involved caps lock. But I'm not a toggle sprint user, so that wouldn't really work for me. Oh, my gameplay is not great here. I think I can surprise them with the pots, though. Oh, my tracking was off. Good fight. But yeah, this came to mind as a good way to expand upon the point that I was making last time about being yourself. Okay? Only change settings if it's worthwhile to reprogram, because you can make anything comfortable, kind of, if you reprogram. For me, there are just certain sensitivities that are too high or too low. I don't think I could ever get used to them. Some people can. So, but for most of us, we can make most things comfortable. You just have to ask, is it worth the practice? Because ideally, getting comfortable with it means literal years. It means investing literal years to be truly a master of these settings. So ask, is it really worth it? And am I doing this for comfort or because I saw somebody do it? Okay? I think Madge's reasoning is pretty solid. This is just something for you guys to think about. So with this one, I just wanted to address that specifically because, of course, Madge did make a video explicitly about settings. And yeah, it kind of popped into my mind as a little extension of that point from last video. All right, let's get into what you guys really want to hear about, some kit talk. I'm playing a lot of Warrior this week. The reason, I don't know that I'm going to play Warrior during any tournaments or anything, but potentially, might be some tournaments coming up. I want to play a kit that's just kind of solid and allows me to just practice my gameplay. I don't want to be changing up my kit every other game. So, I'm playing a lot of Warrior right now. I'll get back to some more variety here soon. What kits might I want to buy next? this is a very interesting topic. So one that comes to mind immediately is Diver, and for good reason. It makes maps like Cthulhu into a very different experience, or even some of the island maps, or even Riverside, or even Hamani. They become very different maps. You can explore them very differently. It does something for you that's pretty unique in the game that I don't have access to yet. So in that way, I think there is something to be said for Diver. So Diver is in my 3 picks. Now the other one is Shadow Knight, because Shadow Knight allows you to really cheese people. It allows you to win games that you really shouldn't win. It's just so stupid sometimes. I don't like to think about some of the deaths I've had over the past couple of months to Shadow Knight potions. Now there are some downsides. You don't get healing. You don't get armor potential, I don't think. Feather Falling is kind of cool though. So, okay. I think Shadow Knight, it's in my 3 options as well. The other one, and this is maybe unexpected, but actually he's here in this game playing armor. Hawkite, yes, Hawkite plays almost exclusively Arachnologist, and I like the idea of being able to block projectiles, zone with the mobs, get an iron sword, and again, the kit is simple. I like kits that are pretty simple. Now, a mob kit to me always has a level of complexity that's going to be greater than something like Warrior. But, I think I could get used to Arachnologist. You know, if Necro, even if they changed nothing else, if they gave Necro his Sharp 2 shovel back, I would go for the Necro Prez too, because I like the idea of kind of just having those mobs and then decent armor and a 6 damage weapon. That'd be kind of fun. And so Necro, well, then plus you get the bow, but Necro, it gives you that 6 damage, so that's going to be lower friction gameplay. And then you get the mobs, which are actually a little better than the Necro mobs, because they nerfed the Necro mob count, the number of mobs that you get. You only get 4, and I don't really count the skeletons in the same way. No star, bro. Somebody's running scout on this game. So, Arachnologist, as out of left field as this may be, is actually on my list of potential options. It's a kit that I leveled to 8 a long time ago. It was actually a pretty trendy kit, and if any of you remember, it used to get cobwebs that you could place on the ground. That was cool. That was cool. That's a cool item. Yeah, I think he must be Meat Phoenix. I wonder who Mr. David is. I think for the rest of this game, I just need to loot. What would be very nice is to find a golden apple. Would give me a little burst regen to support the rest of my kit, which will be nice because I bet that this guy has... No, I don't think the scout has died yet. Ah, yes, thank you. Thank you, game. Thank you for being there for me when I need you the most. Second one? Maybe I'll get a second one. Alright. Here we are. Now, unfortunately, I'm just going to cut out everything up till now because it's been pretty boring. But the fellow with the Meat Phoenix, he actually killed a Horse Tamer 10 and then I believe also a scout, which is unfortunate because now he is very stacked. I need to get in here and damage this guy. Youch, that was a triple hit. I was not very clean with my trade. Well, I'm sorry, Hawkite. I bet I can be clean with this trade. GG, rip. I'd always rather the intense showdown. Can I get a rod, bro? No rod. Still no rod. What have I said about rods, bro? Okay. Okay. Oh, and this guy has all the gear. Awesome. Can I loot scoop? No. Okay. Bye. Alright, we got some more docks, and we're going once again to the docks. Here's a little bit of a meta update. Scout is still the best kit in the game, but I'm glad to report that I don't see very many scouts anymore. In fact, last game was Alice, and there was only one, and Alice is basically the scout map. That's excellent, guys. I'm very proud of you as a community. I'm very proud of you all, okay? Sometimes it's tough to give up those dubs. Sometimes it's tough to give up something so strong. But let's be real, it's not that fun, okay? And frankly, look, it's not that fun to play against Meat Masters and Wolf Tamers either. But I'd rather play against you on Meat Master or Wolf Tamer, okay? If I'm gonna be straight up. So I appreciate, you know, you guys are still sweating with good kits. But I appreciate that it's not Scout as much anymore, because that one's annoying. It's annoying. Okay. What do we have going on in this game? I have no rod again. Please. Please. Whoa, I gotta keep chill. Please, could I get a rod? One of these guys has to have a rod. Looks like a slime and a meat. That did no damage. Oh, a rack? What? Seems he does not have a rod either. Sorry, meat homie. Wow, he also took no damage. He has to be running res, right? I think he must be running res. He's been watching too much Madge. Speaking of Madge. My opinion on kill effects, I think regen is the best one. But I think situationally, I mean, obviously res saved him there, so I don't think res is a bad one at all. Speed is the one that I don't so much understand. You can win with it like you can win with anything, but when I watch people play with speed, I usually think, oh nice, they got a kill. It would be great. It would be great if they had regen. Oh goodness. Alright, again, I can't really fight any of these guys. But they don't know that I don't have a rod. So the goal here, play it cool, and see if I can get the star. I am going to speed for this to be safe. Else I might get crit. Very nice. So the goal here is just kill one of these guys who has a rod. And I will surely get one. This looks perfect. One low armor. Beautiful. There's a rod on the ground. I think I just got it. Snowballs in my H slot. Perfect. Oh, no rod? Are you serious? No way. Okay, stay chill, stay chill. Oh, if he would have dismounted there, I think he kills me. Okay, I'm alive for the time being. Did I get more snowballs? I did. Thank goodness. Surely they're not going to pick up every rod over there. Surely not. If I have to go deathmatch... Oh, I have to go deathmatch without a rod again. Okay, I have snowballs this time. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's no problem. Alright. I have a flame bow. That's nice. Chests are always empty. Not always, but of course they are this game. When I need a little help. Need just a little help. Phoenix, yeah, what are my thoughts on Phoenix? I should talk about Phoenix. Some people swear by Phoenix, obviously. In my mind, it feels like a one-trick act. Okay? You have a lot of eggs in one basket. That doesn't work against blaze or armor. Not the most common kits, but for example. Or against red dragon. And it doesn't work against people just hitting you. You like that little launch? I don't think I'm going to launch on this one, though. That seems too risky. Oh, this is so awkward. Bro. GG. Alright. We got some Bastion. I don't mind this map. It's not in my top maps, but it's not bad. And hopefully I'll get a rod this game. Okay, so Phoenix. Some people swear by Phoenix. Sean, for instance, swears by Phoenix. And I understand the idea, okay? So the idea is similar to owning the Blitz Star. You can sort of kill secure a high value target. Here's the thing. What if they just don't let you? They have to pretty much be in the open for it to be a kill secure, right? If there's any sort of shelter around, it's not a kill secure. It's annoying. It's not a kill secure. Okay? Now it's decent in deathmatch, but it doesn't help you if somebody chugs a speed. You understand what I'm saying? Warrior will help me if somebody chugs a speed. Meatmaster will. Phoenix really won't do that. I think it could be good for securing Star, especially if there's only one other player. Oh, I want those boots. Oh, we got ghost stories again. How many times will I fight this guy in one video? Alright, I need to be a little careful here. Wolf Tamer just gapped. I'll kill the wolves. I'm gonna stick around here though. I want to get those boots. One of the things about warrior is you don't get a lot of armor potentials, so it's good if you can secure a kill like that. And it's not going to get me Giga targeted because I don't have, you know, a helmet to pair with it. So I think it's not bad. Oh, that was a nice double hit that he just got. Alright, a little close for comfort. Looks like we're good though. So listen, I don't know, like, I think it's good. I see the vision, and I won with it a lot back in the day, but trying to play it recently, I would have to reevaluate once I have it to level 10, because where I currently have it, I get a lot of games where I'm stuck with a wood sword or no sword for an inordinate amount of time. And that level of inconsistency really hurts. So I would have to reevaluate the kit once I actually had it scaled to level 10 where it gets the sharp 1 gold. Then I could reevaluate a little bit. I think this is my best place to loot Star here. I can get 2 chests and then +1. Ah. Alright, somebody else found it, no problem. I'm gonna chill back here. I doubt he'll, like, try and use it on me. I'll just find somewhere to chill. I might put the boots away somewhere if he comes after me, just to be spiteful, you know. I don't want him getting any gear for my kill. Don't tell anyone I do that, though. Or do. And then if I don't do it, you'll all be looking in chests around where I died for nothing. So I'll have to update my thoughts on Phoenix a little bit later, but I just don't die to them that often. Like, not because they're Phoenix. Okay? I mean, I die to Phoenixes, but I die to lots of different kits. I don't feel like I die to Phoenixes because they're Phoenixes that often. Sometimes. Not that often. But Meat Masters, bro, I die to Meat Masters because they're Meat Masters all the time. I go into a trade, whack the shit out of them, they take no damage, I'm just, okay. Okay. You know, just put my hands up. It is what it is. Whoa, I almost lost my chill there. Gotta get back to my chill. Can I surprise this guy? Oh, that wasn't surprising enough. I don't think he wants to engage. He's playing... Is he playing Paladin? Might be a Paladin. That's another eggs in one basket kit. But very versatile. And defensive, which I think defensive tends to be reliable. You understand what I'm saying? Lockdown. So I want to go fight then. When people use lockdown, I want to trigger deathmatch if I can. I don't want to let them sit around and loot for the rest of the game and enchant to their heart's content. Of course, people don't necessarily like to fight, so oftentimes the lockdown player does get to use that time pretty well. But he waited. He didn't use it immediately. If you're going to use lockdown, you want to use it immediately. He only has a minute 30, or had a minute 30 to loot. Minute 15 or so right now. Maybe I can get this guy. I couldn't quite get the pin. I would like to force the Paladin out of his inventory, but we'll see. You know, him having Paladin isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as he uses it to damage somebody else, so... Annoying DM, he says. Well, see, he doesn't have that accepting mindset. I'm kind of targeting Krot here because I expect him to be slightly more geared than Ghost. But who knows? Okay. Paladin died to Base Slayer, or Fire Rapid, I think, right? And then hopefully he used his potions. Rage bait cues. A little bit. Little bit. Alright, so fire's getting kind of low here. Krot's pushing. They're going to start pushing me eventually, and actually I'm going to see if I can get some free damage here. I don't have a lot of burst regen though, so I need to be very careful. I can fight people, but I can't get pinned. I say don't have a lot of burst regen, I mean I have none. If I had better tracking there, I would have got 2 hits. Okay, I think that probably... I don't know if I hit him before or after the gap. I don't know if that got rid of his... Sorry, Fire Rapid, I had to do it. I don't want others getting a kill effect from that. So I was tempted to trade there with my kill effect. The reason I didn't is it's kind of easy to get pinned in this inner arena. I'm gonna trust my skills to, oh, yep, find another opportunity. This looks good. Alright, GG's, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. That was a chill episode. Peace.